By the time you're watching this, the government has probably already shut down. I'm recording this on Tuesday night, and the official shutdown is Wednesday at 12:01 a.m. And look, I'm not going to get into the specifics on who's right, who's wrong. Look, this happens under every presidency. There are potential shutdowns, and the party in power needs to make some concessions to have the shutdown not happen under their watch. It's not super complicated. I don't think you can really blame either side because both sides do it when they're not in power. They demand things. It's really their only leverage point is we're going to cause a shutdown on your behalf because inevitably everyone's going to blame president because most people don't understand that much about politics, so they're not going to say, well, the Republicans all voted to keep it open, the Democrats all voted to keep it shut down. People just look at the president, they know the chaos is happening under them, and rightfully so. So I'm not really going to get into specifics on who's right and who's wrong, and are the Democrats asking for too much, are the Republicans not? I don't care about that. What I am saying is this continuing resolution that needs to happen every couple months seems absurd to me. Look, we get a president every 4 years, but by the time you're watching this, the government has already been shut down. And look, I'm not really pinning this on either party. A lot of people want to rush to blame the Republicans. A lot of people want to rush to blame the Democrats. And under every presidency, this happens. Look, the party that is not in power, especially if the party that is in power has a trifecta, the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. By the time you're watching this, the government has already been shut down. And look, a lot of people are rushing to judgment. A lot of people are rushing to blame the Republicans, to blame the Democrats. And look, inevitably, this is always going to happen or get close to happening, whether it's Democrats in power, whether it's Republicans in power. The party that is not in power, especially if the party in power holds a trifecta of the presidency, the House, the Senate, and even the Supreme Court, which the Republicans have all four, the party not in power is going to make demands. This is really their only point of leverage. And it's just kind of common sense that's like, this is our only opportunity that we need to approve of the continuing resolution, which has to come up every couple months. So this is our only point of leverage. You can kind of ignore us at all other times. We need to get said things happen for us to vote on this and keep the government open. Inevitably, it's always going to fall on the president. Most people aren't following politics. Most people aren't going to know that all the Republicans voted to keep it open, all the Democrats voted to keep it closed. Same thing under Obama or Biden. Nobody's saying that, oh, well, even though Obama and the Democrats all voted to keep the government open and all the Republicans voted to keep it closed. No, they look at the president. You are the leader. Nobody gets into the weeds and says, well, technically it was a fair ask and they should have. No, nobody cares. That's not really what I'm here to talk about. What I am here to talk about is the absurdity of having to vote every couple months on this continuing resolution where we lump all these things in together. And I think this is kind of the quintessential issue that people have with the government. Number one, the unnecessary rules and regulations. Look, we get a new president every 4 years, or maybe 8, depending on if they serve a few terms or not. We get a new group of House members and senators, for the most part, every 2 years, sometimes 1 year if they're having off-year elections. There are a couple that are having off-year elections, but for the most part, we have the midterm elections, and then we have the presidential year elections. So every 2 years, we have the same people, and we need to continuously have them negotiating on things they've already negotiated. Look, 2025, we got a new president, we got a new House, we got a new Senate. Have them vote on everything for the next 2 years. Now, look, you're going to say, oh, well, there's things that come up. Yeah, you can handle the things that come up. You can handle the small stuff. You can handle the stuff that doesn't cost money periodically throughout that time on a one-off bill. But why are we continuously... And another issue is everything gets lumped into this. everything that's kind of completely irrelevant, even things that don't require government funding are getting lumped into this because it's the one-time catch-all that, oh, well, we have to vote on it. If you're a Republican, you have to vote to keep the government open. And if you're a Democrat and then they end up getting a few of their goodies, whatever those goodies are, then you have to vote for it. So, number one, it's inefficient. It doesn't make a lot of sense because why do we have to do continuous resolutions under the same group of people multiple times each year? Like, what? If all these people are the same, do one and then have another one come up after we get new people elected. That seems pretty obvious. Now, one-off bills, because this kind of ties into the massive, we're doing a bill every 3 months and we just got to stuff everything in there. We're going to stuff everything in there because if it doesn't and it's a one-off, people don't. Look, I think the majority of things should be one-off bills, and I think they should be put on the news and they should be televised, and we should hear about them before the vote. We should have a one-off bill. The bill should say, increase funding for rural hospitals, yes or no. It's clear, it's concise, it's simple. You know who votes for it, and on the news you can see if your representative and your senator voted for it or against it. It's pretty easy, and it's very easy to reward good senators, House of Representative members, and presidents, or to not reward them and vote for somebody else. Right now, the system that we've got, nobody knows what's in this continuing resolution. They don't even know what's in it because there's too many pages to read. So they don't know what they're voting for. They also can't really vote for what they want because their party leader tells them what to do. And it just murkies up the water. So I think from both an efficiency standpoint and I think from also a practicality standpoint, we could do way less things because just doing a lot of things doesn't impress me. It doesn't improve anyone's life. Less things, more public, posted a week. In 1 week, there's going to be a vote on XYZ issue. And all the people in public can tweet about it. They can Facebook about it. And then their politician will see, okay, the majority of my support is with passing this, or the people are going to be very mad if I pass this. And it's very easy to see if your representative is listening to you. Even if you don't get said action done, you want your representative to vote for this, and they do, and it doesn't get passed, you can't really hold that against your representative. I think a lot of times that happens as well. Your person wants to help you, but they can't because they don't have enough votes, and then you vote them out because you didn't get what you wanted, but that person was actually fighting